Hi, my name is Colette and welcome to Kalieta&Co, my knitting channel. I'm very glad that you're here today because this is my very first video and I hope that we get to know each other a little bit more and as well as talk about my current knitting projects. So I currently live in Dallas, Texas. I have been here officially in Dallas since the month of August, but I've been living in the Metroplex for quite a few years now. I do love knitting. It's one of my passions. I do have quite many. However, hopefully on this channel, you'll get a glimpse of other hobbies that I have while we continue to mainly discuss my knitting and my knitting projects. In terms of knitting, I have been knitting since I was about 6 years old. I was first taught by my grandmother's sister, and I remember my very first project was a scarf. As every beginner starts with a scarf, and if you're knitting yourself, you probably started with a scarf as well. And I remember it was very tedious, and as a little girl, I was getting frustrated, but I'm a very stubborn person by nature, meaning that I don't quit easily, especially when I set my mind to do something. I tend to, go through it. And so I was very adamant about learning how to knit and purl, but it was terrible. My scarf, I don't think I ever finished it. And in the end, it was just very tedious. Plus the needles were super big, and I think with my little hands, it was quite challenging. I did put off knitting for a few years, and I think I was maybe I was in my teens definitely, but maybe I was around like 15 years old, and a friend of mine, her mom used to knit, and so she offered to teach both of us. But of course, her condition was that we had to be serious about it. We had to really do the assignments. That she wasn't gonna waste her time if we if we were not serious about it. And I, of course, was excited. I was like, at the time, I was crocheting, which I had taught myself, and I enjoyed the process, but I also wanted to learn how to actually knit again. So we can say that I had my second start in knitting when I was 15 with this lady who took time to teach me the basics. Again, unfortunately, I did realize how tedious knitting was. Knitting is not necessarily that it's difficult, but I think knitting really requires you to be focused, and especially as you're learning, it is not a hobby that you easily start and put off, because in my opinion, at least, I think there are a lot of things that you have to put in as you are, a lot of foundations that you have to build to get to the result. And of course, practice makes perfect. And after learning a little bit with her, I think I did like 3 or 4 sessions with her, and while practicing at home. But again, I did end up quitting again knitting for the second time, and it was due to many factors, but mainly it was just, I was like, well, I don't think I was prepared honestly to knit at the time. And really when things picked up for me in terms of knitting was when I started college. So a couple of years later, again, I started college, and I don't know, I was just bored in my dorm one day, and I told myself, well, why not try to knit something? And I think it's because I also was watching some knitting not vloggers, because at that time vlogs were not a thing yet. But bloggers, yes, they were some knitting bloggers who really inspired me, and I was just like, wow, they are creating all these beautiful things, and I really want to learn. I really want to be able to replicate and do that. And I started also following some some YouTubers. Yeah, there were already some YouTubers also back in that was not to date myself, a couple of years ago, like around circa 2007, 2008. Yeah, there were already some YouTubers who were also knitting. And so but it was mostly like tutorials that were showing you how to do this, right? Little projects. And so I was like, wow, like I also want to do this. And so I remember walking to, I think it was Michael's or Walmart, I don't remember. But I went and I bought this cheap yarn, acrylic, horrible. And because again, at the time, I didn't understand the differences of yarn, the qualities, it was just a matter of, I don't have a lot of money, but I do want to learn. I do want to knit. So I was like, let's pick up this project. At least by now I knew how to knit and purl, how to cast on, cast off, those things, the basics I hadn't lost them. I just did not know necessarily the construction of things. But I can say that once I started in college, I think that's when truly, at that point I was ready. I was ready to really learn. I was really centered. I was really, it became something that I was constantly like looking forward to do. Now I've been knitting nonstop for about 16 years now. Yeah, wow, 16. And I still don't consider myself a professional. I still think, I'm still learning. I'm still improving techniques. But it's been 16 years where I've been reading books, watching fellow YouTubers, fellow bloggers, and then, learning from the internet as well, which I think is an amazing thing. We live in an amazing era where you can learn anything you want through the media of, watching videos and searching the internet. Maybe if I had that when I was a child, maybe I would be more interested in doing that at that time. Or maybe it was just a question of maturity, right? Maybe I just hadn't reached that degree of interest until I was in college. And that's okay. I did love to crochet a lot when I was younger. It was easier, it was quick, it was just something easy. You get the hook and you just walk and you can crochet. So I loved a lot doing that. Now I do a little bit less of crocheting. I still enjoy it, but my passion has shifted a lot to knitting. So that's kind of a little bit of how I got into knitting. Hopefully it was not too winded for you. In terms of current projects, right now I have 3 big projects that I'm still working on. And as a disclaimer, I am not a fast knitter. I admire all the girls on the internet who can knit a sweater in a week, who are super quick. I think the fastest I've knitted a sweater was a week and a half. Actually, we're gonna see one of those projects today. But I don't consider myself to be a fast knitter. I have peaks where I'm nonstop knitting, and then I kind of start winding down the project, but I'm still not done with the project. So I'll move on to something else, come back, and then work on it. So it's hard for me to knit under constrained deadlines. But I try sometimes. I try to push myself, and be okay, we're gonna get this project done by this date. Otherwise, projects can stall. I'm a huge lover of knitting sweaters, shirts. Actually, right now I am wearing one of my knitted shirts. This one was knitted couple years ago. I'll say at least 5 years ago. It's a linen cotton blend from Knit Picks yarn. The pattern, I had actually come up with this myself. Don't ask me how I will do this again. Probably I'm gonna have to like relearn. But this was a basic raglan top down construction. It's kind of a little bit crop, but not too crop, where I can wear it with not too highly waisted pants. I'll put a picture here somewhere for you to see how it fits on me. The color is now a little bit it's still blue, but it's washed out since compared to the original color. But it's one of my favorite knit ever. I wear it all year round, summer, winter, whatever. Winter, of course, I have to put something else on top. But during the summer, I can wear this comfortably, minimal sweat. It's really comfortable. That's what when you knit in with natural fibers, your body reacts differently to it than if you're using unnatural fibers, I guess I should say. Yes, so this is one of my works. I love it. I do think I'm gonna knit other shirts. Actually, I do need to knit other shirts because I actually enjoy wearing them. And then, they look good at work, when I wear it for work, or if I wear it to go out or just being at home, like today. So yeah, always do something like that for yourself. Okay, I will go ahead and kind of like jump into my current projects. As I said, I love knitting big things. I do accessories. I used to knit a lot of more accessories, especially when I was starting. Now it's just as a need. For example, I don't wear a lot of hats myself, so I don't need hats, if that makes sense. But I do like to gift them. I do like to make them for others. And I think they look cute. I also like to just make them just, if I want to like do a cute photo sesh, I'll maybe do that. I do enjoy a lot more scarves. Scarves are like a thing I love. I love balaclavas, and we will talk about that in some future episode. And then of course I do enjoy knitting mittens, but that's about it. Mainly big pieces items. So in terms of big piece items that I'm currently working, or actually I'm already finished, it's just a matter of putting some finishing touches. So this sweater, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably have seen it already. If not, I also invite you to follow me, and I do post my work on and off. But this is a sweater. It's called Magnolia Bloom. It's a pattern by the Danish knitter Camilla, I believe her name is. I love her work. Super cute. I purchased the pattern a couple years ago and I never got around to knitting it, but I finally decided to try it this year. This is actually a gift, although I love how the color looks on me. I think I'll make another one for myself. It's just green looks good, right? I mean, if you look at green, looks good with my eyes. Oh yeah. So I love the bubbles, the leaves. It's just super cute. The pattern calls for a mixture of like a wool, lamb's wool, I believe, yarn, and mohair held together, and you knit it. However, I live in Texas, and honestly, even this one, this is 100% wool yarn. That is quite hot, and because it's hot, I'm trying to not do fibers that are too stuffy, because otherwise I'm not gonna wear them, or whoever I'm gonna give them to are not going to wear it. This is 100% wool, which means I anticipate my friend who's gonna get this sweater to probably have like a tank top underneath, and then this, because again, where we live, we don't have such rough winters, and if and when she goes back home, because she actually is also from a cold country, she can then add additional layers on top or underneath with thermals to make it even warmer. But regardless, 100% wool. It's actually new yarn also I was trying. I have heard about Hobbii, which also is, I think it's a Danish company. I believe it's a Danish company. But anyways, so I've heard about them. I've seen, their website. And I was kind of like skeptical. It's like, because I mean, the price of the yarn is not bad there. Because I'll compare it to, for example, Knit Picks. And the yarn there is not like, the price is actually pretty affordable, but I did not know the quality. So I was like, I don't know if I want to order some from them. What if I don't like it? And so finally they had Black Friday sale, and which they do every year, but this year is the year I decided to take the jump and try it. So I went ahead and ordered quite a lot of yarn. That's going to be another episode, but I did order quite a lot of yarn, and one of the yarns is this Woolpower, and it's a happy sheep. It's 100%. Let me see if I can find, yeah, right there, see. It's 100% virgin wool, and then they recommend using needle size 5.5, 6 millimeters, so which is the 9 and 10 US. I actually use a 10 and then I think an 11 on this sweater, which was working marvelously. Actually, I'm very impressed. It actually made knitting this sweater super fast, super easy, because bigger yarn, bigger needle, and the magic. So a week and a half. It took me a week and a half to work on this. Probably could have done this sweater in a week, but I don't need every day, and I don't need all day. If someone is like, non-stop knitter and can sit 3 days in a row without really taking breaks, and then I think even in 3 days you can knit this sweater, because honestly, using this yarn, meaning super easy. So what else about the yarn? Yarn is super soft. Honestly, I was actually shocked, because I did order in the past 100% wool from Knit Picks, and I compared them because I don't even know why I'm comparing, but those are the two companies that Knit Picks is one of the companies I tend to buy more from usually. And so their wool is, I think it's called the Highland wool. It is actually very rough. Like, I have pretty sensitive skin, and I'm doing this right now, and it's not prickling me, versus Knit Picks wool is like itching. I have to put something, like, it's not super uncomfortable, like I could wear it, but around my neck I would have to like put a turtleneck underneath, right? Or actually also do like always have a layer underneath, basically. Versus with this one, I could use it, like I could wear with nothing really underneath, and it would do. It's super soft. The amount of yarn per ball is amazing. So for this sweater, which is a size M, per the pattern, I have only used 4 balls. 4 balls. Typically, a sweater takes me 8 to 10 balls, depending, of course, the yardage and blah, blah, blah. But 4 balls of this wonderful Woolpower, I mean, that's like an knitter's dream, okay? I'm super impressed. I'm glad I got this in different colors, this yarn. So I'll be knitting other things. Probably make another bloom sweater for myself. I haven't decided, but this one is a gift. It has to be, like, I have to just, wash it, and then excited. It's a very beautiful sweater. Camilla did a great job with the pattern, and I got a couple more patterns from her to try out. Some involve using different colors at the same time, so I'm really excited to try those patterns, maybe sometime this year as well, why not. But this one is going to be ready to be shipped out this week, so hopefully she can enjoy it while it's still somewhat cold here, because we're just January, so we still have February and March winter, although Texas winter has been, you know, iffy. It's like one day it's cold, one day it's warm, go figure. Okay, so that's project one. That is almost done because I still need to put away the bits of yarns that are showing everywhere, wash it, block it, dry it obviously while I'm blocking it, and then mail it. But that project is almost done. Second project that I started before I got on this one is, of course, also if you've been following me on Instagram, you've probably seen snippets, but if not, is this vest. If you are a knitter, you probably have seen this over the internet. This one is a, oh my gosh, I forgot. It's a Slanting Sleepover. Here we go. Slanting Sleepover by Ventzel. Ventzel is also a Danish designer. And actually I can do this. I can put it on for you guys. She's a Danish designer, and she just makes amazing work. Like, look at this. So I don't know if you can see this project, but it's very, like, I don't know, I just love it. It's quite an easy project. I think the hardest part was starting, but now it's very like an easy ongoing project. And maybe when I finish knitting it, I will kind of like provide you a little bit of pointers, because it took me a couple of trials and errors to you know, really get it going. But I'm very excited about this project. I'm using the Berrocco vintage chunky yarn for this, which is a 52% acrylic, 40% wool, and 8% nylon blend. The reason I went with this yarn is in her original, in the pattern, actually Anna recommends to use also like a wool and mohair blend. And then as explained earlier, this is not something I can do living in Texas, but otherwise it's gonna be too hot. So I had a pattern for a while as well, and I was thinking like, okay, what yarn can I use? I didn't really want to go out of my way to purchase new yarn. I know I did that with Hobbii, with the new wool that I acquired recently. But since this project was actually started in 2022, and I ended up running out of my yarn, that's why this project has not been completed yet. But when I got I guess the desire to knit this pattern finally, I thought I should go ahead and shop in my stash. And if you guys stick around, we will be covering going through my stash of yarn in some future videos. Anyways, so I had previously purchased about, I think, 10 or 8 to 10 balls of this yarn. Actually not balls, because these are skeins. 8 to 10 skeins of this yarn, just to try it out. I ended up making a sweater, which I'll insert a picture as well here for you guys to see. And I honestly loved. It was very easy to knit with. It's super soft, and what I love about this yarn is that it's washable. That sweater, I wear it specifically in the winter because it does get warm in this. And then I just toss it in the washer, and I've actually also dried it, although the instructions say not to dry in the dryer and just lay it flat. But I don't let it dry completely, if that makes sense. Like I will dry it so it gets most of the water out, and then I will lay it flat for the remaining while it's still damp stage. But yeah, easy to care for yarn, honestly. So I had 3 skeins left, and I thought, oh perfect, let me try this and make the slanting sleepover. I'm doing this in the medium size, I believe. Yeah, I think it's the medium, maybe large. No, it should be, it's the medium. And so I ran out of yarn, and so I ended up pre-ordering some from Wool Company. And I ordered additional 3 skeins. I don't think I'm gonna need all 3 skeins, but I got an extra just in case. I think I'm gonna need 2 more to completely finish. Right now I'm working on the bag still. So this is a project that I think I will get to finish maybe in a week or so, because it's pretty easy. And honestly, I love how the yarn drapes here, how it's very like creates this sturdy fabric, and it's actually like, it really feels like a shield, you know. It's a slanting sleepover, I know, but to me it feels like a very nice shield. I love the high neck turtleneck kind of vibe. Honestly, I love having my neck covered in the winter. And then the color is not translating properly. It's kind of showing like a little bit brighter red, but actually the red is a little bit richer. Let me see if I can do this. Maybe I would some color correction later. You guys can appreciate it. But it's more like a wine color. Actually, this one is called, the color is 6134. And the yarn is made in Peru. But nonetheless, awesome. So this is a project I've been working on since last year, like November-ish, and that I need to finish. I know. Okay, so those are the 2 projects so far. And then the 3rd project, which is even worse in terms of how long ago I started it. I should be ashamed. I should have been done with this a long time ago. So in the summer of 2022, I started this sweater that I wanted to wear during summer. I told myself, oh, I want like something like, you know, to be able to wear it to the beach, or if I need to like even go to restaurants, you know, like for it to be nice, breezy, and just to be able to throw it over a tank top, right? And so I started knitting this sweater. There's not like an official pattern for this. This is something I seen a Ukrainian YouTuber knit. I'll post her video tutorial, I guess. Yeah, she did provide like, but it's in Ukrainian. I mean, it's in Russian. She goes in instructions in Russian. But if you, I guess, don't mind and kind of like can watch and figure things out just by watching, I think you should be able to reproduce it. But yeah, it's a project she had started. She had shared like, I think a year ago or 2 years, a couple of years ago. And I was like, oh, let me try this. And so I have been working on this. It's not an original pattern of mine. You know, when it will be, I will say so. But nonetheless, it's very nice. I just like the design of it. Yeah, I had obviously calculations, everything had been adapted to my body, and I think I'm gonna finish it. So I'm gonna set a picture also here so you can appreciate how it looked on me. At the time when I was when I showed the picture, I didn't have the sleeves ready yet, and so one of the sleeves since has been completed. And I've been really slow at knitting the second sleeve because I am very, I don't know, when I get to the sleeves, I start to get lazy. and so it takes me longer. So if a body, I could probably knit a body like this, but when I get to the sleeves, for some reason I start stalling. Are you familiar with this problem? If yes, please share in the comments. If not, I mean, good for you, I guess. But so that's pretty much the issue. So I've been working on this one forever, and I really want to finish it. It was supposed to be done in the summer, so I could enjoy it, but I guess it will be ready for summer 2023. But my goal is to finish it this month, so I can, you know, get it off my needles and get on something else. And so that's all. These are the 3 projects. Oh, before I forget, so the yarn I'm using for that summer sweater is actually a Paintbox. Let me see if I can. Paintbox yarn. It's a cotton DK. It's in a different color, of course. This one is a pistachio green. The other one was some kind of like a peach color. I had ordered this from Love Crafts in white, that peachy color, and then pistachio green. Unfortunately, I don't have the label for that color to show y'all, but I will post all the yarn color information in the info box below for those who are interested. And the sweater is I mean, I had ordered 10 balls of each colors, and now I think I'm gonna be using 9 balls to complete this the last sleeve, because the yardage is pretty good. It's like 137 yards, and it's a 50-gram ball, and I've been knitting that one on US size needles 5, so it also does take a little bit of time. But overall, it's a very good summer yarn. I always keep a stash at hand because I like to knit for babies, for kids as well. So all my friends are having babies, and so I, you know, tend to knit for them as well. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know I had a great time being here, talking to you a little bit about me and about my projects. And I hope to see you back here in my next video. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you guys here soon enough. Bye bye.